Alright, well, I've been doing a bunch of stuff on the car. Little odds and ends. No rhyme or reason to it, just what I can do with what I got at the time. So anyways, check it out. Alright, I'm going to try and pull the dent out of this frame rail here. I've kind of pre-rigged up some stuff already. So I tack welded a stud right to the frame rail. I've got a nut here, that's just basically some 1/2 inch ready rod. Some heavy gauge angle iron and some pretty heavy tubing. What I'm hoping is that with the impact gun I can tighten that up and it'll kind of start pulling it out to where it needs to go. We'll see if that works. I'm going to heat it up with a torch, kind of try and get that frame rail a little bit softer, because that frame's actually attached to the floorboard as well, and everything under there is crinkled, so it's going to kind of have to all pull together. We'll see if it works, who knows. Well, I got this back piece here all patched up. While I was doing that, thought of a different way. I thought I'd give it one more shot to try and straighten this out a little bit. What the heck, eh? See what happens. Well, I did get it a little bit better. I think I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to carry this plate on here a little ways past and kind of cover it up. That's what I get, I guess. At this point, it's starting to wear on me and starting to care a little bit less every day. Anyways, yeah, ugly. Well, it's better than it was. It's not fixed, I guess. I don't know if it'll ever be fixed without actually cutting out the frame rail. But, I mean, a hammer, my homemade puller, and then I just covered it up with some fresh steel to kind of reinforce it, give it a bit of strength back. I'm comfortable with it. It's a good thing it'll be hidden behind the body panels. Another thing I need to address on the car is the seat mount. Before last season I put the full containment seat in. It's bolted in there, it's pretty good. I mean, it's covered in 4 points and it's saddled. I never actually finished it the way I want to, so I'm going to go ahead and do that as well.
seat out. You can see the seat mount I got going on here. So I've made a contoured bracket that actually contours the layback of the seat. Gives you solid points to mount to right to the chassis. This pipe here comes back off of one of the back bars. It doesn't actually tie into the floor. The floorboard has zero support to it. This side here does tie directly into the frame rail, which I put in as part of the cage. So it's pretty solid. Up top here you can see the wings that I put on. So the center bracket is attached right to the cage, and then I put the wings on to give it 4 points at the top of the cage, and then mounted these bars, a bar to support it. I just got to cut the back out on the one side here to support it as well.
And that's it welded up. Splash paint. Nice and safe. Alright, I'm sure you've seen this one floating around the internet. Let's see if it's as easy as it's made out to be. Holy sh! Thank you, internet. So I've got a few extra gauges. I'm doing something different in the cockpit. So I took the gauges out of the cockpit, and then I just ended up mounting them in the engine bay. Will they survive? I'm not really sure. Are they necessary? Absolutely not. Are they handy? Sure. At least if we're working in the engine bay, we don't need to be jumping back and forth to see what's going on with the engine. And then I can compare the gauges inside as well. The temperature gauge will probably read a little bit different. It's tapped in right to the top of the water filler, so it's actually getting a more of a reading of what's coming out of the radiator, where the dash is going to have the sensor right at the front of the engine block, like normal. Oil pressure is coming off of the same side, or the same spot where it was originally. I've just basically got a T where the new sensor for the dash is going to go. And then off the back of the head, I'm also going to have oil temp sensor for the new dash. But I put my safety shutoff, so we've got an oil pressure shutoff for the fuel pump, where if the oil pressure drops below, I think this is a 20 psi switch, it will kill the fuel pump. Mainly in case the event of a rollover or something, it'll shut the fuel supply off with the electric fuel pump. So necessary? No. Kind of fun? Sure. The other thing I've done, it's really awkward to get to the weight jack behind the tire. So I've just put some extensions and some universals and extended it up through the deck, and now I can turn it as needed and not have to crawl under and reach behind the tire, and makes things way easier. So I'm going to make a panel to cover up this opening now that I don't need access to the weight jack bolt itself, just to help clean it up. All I got left for scrap aluminum is actually the full sheets that I got for the body panels, and I don't feel like pulling them open, so I got this. It will do the trick. Thanks, World of Wheels. So this is my 3-in-1 shear, press brake, and slip roll. It is the finest China has to offer. Actually, it's a neat story behind this thing. Scotty was at the tool shop, and this was just sitting in the back. So when he asked about it, the guy that was there said it wasn't for sale at the time. Scotty offered him $100 for it, and the guy declined politely, and that was that. And then a couple months later, Scotty went back for something else, noticed that it was still there, told the guy that the offer still stood, he'd take it for $100, and the guy just gave it to him for free, helped him load it into the truck, and away he goes. And then he just brought it right over here. It's not bad. It's a 3-foot shear. It's got the box and pan style brake, and then it's got a set of slip rolls. The slip rolls are stripped. That's why he just got rid of it. And I don't think there's gears available, or maybe someone can make gears. Who knows? But anyways, free sheet metal tools are my favorite kind of sheet metal tools. So pretty much needs to be adjusted after every use. It's a small price to pay. Looks a little bit cleaner. Looks a little bit flashier. All right, well, there's a bunch of stuff, kind of loose ends tied up, I guess you could call it. Pretty basic stuff. I did end up spending about $20 on steel to fix the frame. And then I also went shopping at one of the awesome liquidation places and spent about $30 on a couple packs of extensions and the universals for the weight jack extensions that I made. So we'll add that to the total, and starting to get up there a little bit in cost, but I split it up, right? I don't buy everything all at once, of course. I can pull a little bit out each payday and buy stuff here and there, or put money away when I can. But anyways, it's kind of what it is. Next up, I should be able to fire the motor here soon, and hopefully the parts for the rear end show up soon. Anyways, thanks for watching. Yeah, thanks for watching.